trying to do math to figure out exactly when I need to leave. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. It's so dark in here. And the reflection of my glasses is not helping. Anyway, hi. I am just about to leave to catch my train to Edinburgh for work. I'm currently doing a writing residency with the Edinburgh International Book Festival, which is so exciting. I'm actually the community's trainee writer in residence. Basically, they're training me up to be a community creative writing facilitator. So I'm working with another writer in communities local to Edinburgh, teaching creative writing groups and workshops and classes for adults. There were actually 2 residencies on offer, one for adults and one for children. I predominantly write for children, but I was kind of happy to get the adults one just because it's a new skill set and like I'm learning so much about working with adults, because most of my experience with writing and with teaching has been with children, so this is an entirely different challenge, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm learning so much, like there's just so much to learn, but the writer I'm working with is amazing. The opportunity is just it's so good. I'm meeting so many amazing people, getting to learn new skills and try new things, and just having that like freedom and that trust to be like, okay Hannah, you go and do this now or whatever. It's really nice. So yeah, that is what I've been doing lately. People often ask me why I cover my hair so much, especially when it's done, and the reason is very simple. I have been pooped on by birds too many times in my life not to cover my hair when I'm outside. So even if it doesn't go with my outfit, even if it actually looks bad, like this currently does, that's fine. Because once I get to where I'm going, the head covering comes off and we're all happy. Also, trains, I hate accidentally leaning back on a train and my head hitting the headrest because they're so grim and dusty and disgusting, and washing my hair once a week is quite enough for me. I can't be doing it every single time I step outside the house. Anyway, I'm going for lunch today in Edinburgh after work with a friend. I asked him to send me lunch recommendations, and he sent me, the entire list was Indian restaurants, so I have a feeling he really wants to eat Indian food, so it's fine. I like Indian food. Yeah, I'm gonna head out.
6 coaches, platform 3.
But yeah, no, my
Who used to live, who lived like 20 years ago. I was fairly. The only problem, and I just paid it. I Just finish being
Okay.
out.
Anyone for a nice latte? Very good. Hi. So I know it's terribly British to talk about the weather in every single video, but I'm so happy right now. We've just had like non-stop like rain and gloom, like overcast skies all week, and for the first time the sun is out and I'm just very happy. I have my iced latte, which feels appropriate. It's decaf. I have always known that I'm sensitive to caffeine, but earlier this week I was really tired, so I was like, oh, I'll just have like a normal caffeinated coffee, and I couldn't sleep that night. I was still up at like 3-4 a.m. So I'm sticking to what I know, which is decaf. So a couple of months ago, yeah, maybe almost 2 months ago, I wrote my very first script, my very first TV pilot. It's the first time I've done anything like that. I've been strictly like stories and poetry for most of my writing career, for the entirety of my writing career. I've never written like a script or a play or anything like that, but there was this scheme that I wanted to see if I could get onto. There were actually three, but there was one in particular that I thought, oh, this could be a nice thing to apply for. Bear in mind, I have no experience with screenwriting or anything, so I like did like a crash course. I read a bunch of scripts. I had an idea for a while, but I decided to really go for it and like learn everything I could within like, I think it was about 6 weeks from when I started thinking about it to when I actually wrote it. So bear in mind, never written a script before, decided to write one in 6 weeks and apply for, I'm not going to mention the scheme, but it was kind of like a somewhat, like it's with an organisation that's pretty prestigious in the UK film and TV scene. So I was like, yeah, you know what, let's do it. Any guesses on how that went? I'd known for a long time that I wanted to like start working on scripts and like just branching out creatively and trying new things. So when I saw that this scheme was available, I was like, oh, this is the perfect time to do it and apply. And I mean, suffice to say, I didn't get it. I went into the application knowing that it was very unlikely that I was going to get it, but I went into it thinking, okay, the worst thing they can do is say no, so I might as well try and just see how far I get. So I got the rejection email a couple of weeks ago, and then the other day they sent the feedback. So I thought it'd be fun to read through it, and I haven't looked at it yet. I kind of saw it, panicked, and then put my phone away. So I'm gonna look at it for the first time on camera, which we'll see. From like the very brief scan that I did, it doesn't seem to be like, oh, you're a terrible writer, please quit and never try screenwriting again. So, you know, that's good. Let's see. So it was a comedy pilot, 45 minutes. I don't want to go into too much detail just because I'm going to keep working on it and who knows what will happen, but here's what they said. Okay. Oh, this is really detailed. Okay. So okay, I get it. So I supplied a synopsis, a script extract, a treatment, character descriptions and a bunch of other stuff, and then they've had the readers sum up what they thought I was trying to say based on what I actually submitted. So this is their feedback on the script extract itself. He said the tension is palpable in this extract with blah 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 blahs, life slowly but steadily imploding. It feels like she can't catch a break, and it goes into a bit of detail, so I'm not going to do that. Just put the characters' self-destructive tendencies become more and more clear over the course of this extract, and this provides a good sense of momentum in the story. Oh. Okay, I'll not say that, but there's a little bit that they just written here that feels very good. It's a bit too detailed though. The script clearly shows how blah 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 blah, but it doesn't establish the overall stakes. Okay. And then they just put a bunch of questions. Why does character X do what character Y says? What happens if character X doesn't? Oh, okay. They say it would be impactful to understand what is driving character X to keep doing things that are making her life worse. To bring the script to the next level, we need to improve tone. Okay. Then they had some feedback on the treatment that I wrote, which is the first time I'd ever done that, so a treatment works well to provide a good amount of context for the position that our character finds herself in at the start of the series. It establishes her motives for acting the way that she does and touches on her relationships that will be explored throughout the series. However, the treatment could benefit from further details about the overall storyline of the series, as well as specific details. For example, why does... Okay, I'm not going to go into that. But also talk about how the character grows throughout the series. It would strengthen this section to ensure that the tone of the series and script is present. Okay. Characterization. Their notes on the characterization. This provides a good overview of each character's general characteristics and their relationships with the protagonist. You could benefit from more context about their personal challenges as well as interactions they will have with each other. Cool. So that's kind of just like a point by point set of notes. Again, I know it sounds really, really vague, but if I actually say specifics, then you'll get the whole idea of what I was trying to write very, very easily. And while I'm working on it, I do want to just keep it here, but they gave me some overall feedback, and they said the protagonist is a relatable, grounded character that truly feels like the center of the story. The concept of the series is generally clear, but the overarching storyline is an area that could be developed further. It doesn't feel completely like the concept is fully realized in the script extract or the treatment. And then I'm just gonna skip over that bit because it gives away the whole plot. Future drafts could focus on more clearly defining what the driving force for the series is and ensuring that this matches up in the script as well as the treatment. That wasn't so painful. I thought that was really gonna suck. Oh. Okay. When I first started writing and I would get rejections or get like constructive feedback but that was mostly negative, it used to like knock me out. Like it would just knock out all of my confidence. I'd be there like, well, I guess it's time to pack up my notebooks and pack up this writing thing because we're done. Like obviously I clearly can't do it. And now like the further along I get, or I guess just the more rejections that I get, or the more, it's not even rejections, because even when I've been told yes, there's still feedback, there's still change, there's still editing that needs to happen. I think just the more that I have put my work out there and the more I've heard back from people, the less it feels like a personal affront. I think one of the things that I've really noticed is that all the people that I'm kind of interacting with, be it like agents or editors, or in this case like TV producers and script editors and stuff, it's that they're actually very excited about telling stories, and they want to tell amazing stories, and they want to tell stories that are really great. And in order to do that, they have to like be really discerning. And when they say, oh, this isn't working for me, it doesn't mean this is a terrible thing and you should never write again. It just means here's what we would do differently. And that has been just reading that has made me feel okay. I mean, that was my first ever script ever. I've never written one before. So for it not to be terrible, for them to understand, here's what the story is, we like the character, she seems to be like, you know, like what you're trying to say is coming across clearly, here's how we can make it more clear. That feels really good. Oh, that feels brilliant. I am obviously disappointed that I didn't get it, but it was a state of delusion when I applied thinking that I had a shot. Like in my head when I was applying, I was like, okay, I'm like 95% certain I'm not gonna get it, but there's always that 5%, right? That's like, oh my gosh, this could be it. And I think that's kind of the thing that keeps you going, or at least it keeps me going, is knowing that the worst that someone can say is no. Like that's it. If you don't apply, if you don't put yourself out there, it's an immediate no. If you do, the odds are 50-50. And that's really, really helped me. And so the next thing to do is try again. Keep refining it. I've got some really clear pointers there. I'm definitely gonna, I mean, I have another project that I need to wrap up, but when I do come back to this, I've got like really clear feedback on what needs to change, what I can do better. There's no deadline on this. Like this is just a life goal that I have. Whether I get it done this year or in 5 years, like it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna keep working at it. I'm so gassed about that. That's so good. I don't always consider myself a particularly confident person. I think people think that I'm a bit more confident than I actually am, but it does, like I do surprise myself when I do things like this and like apply for things, because I feel like I have a lot more confidence in my creative ability than I have in like myself, which is a weird thought now that I've verbalized it, because obviously like I'm the one creating, so I should have confidence in my like the creator myself as much as I have in the work. I like time and time again, experience has shown me that trying, even though you're like likely to fail, is worth it just for the effort of trying. Like I now have a first draft of script, I have feedback, I can move forward with that. If I hadn't tried, I would probably still be in the thinking about it, oh maybe I will, maybe I won't, doubting myself phase. And obviously there's always doubt, that's just natural, and I wouldn't say like I'm the most confident person ever, but yeah, I've just learned that like if I don't try then like the not knowing would bug me more than getting a no. Not knowing how things could have not knowing how things could have gone would make me feel worse than just trying anyway. Because now I know, like if it had been a yes, it would have been a different story, but it was a no, but it wasn't the end of the world. And yeah, I'm really proud of myself for doing it. And I guess I just want to like encourage you guys, if you are also creative, I mean everyone's creative just by virtue of being human, but if you're someone who's wanting to make a go of your creative passions, like just do it, even if you know you're gonna fail. Like you never know for sure, but even if you're like, I don't think this is gonna work, try anyway, because sometimes it's just the process of trying something that is valuable or is worth more than the actual outcome. Like I've got a lot to go forward with now, which yeah, it feels really good. I don't have anything much else to say other than that if there is something that you're thinking about applying for or trying your hand at, please do. Like a no actually can't hurt you. It can suck. It can be disappointing, but it's not the end of the world. It doesn't like undo all your progress. It's just a no. So yeah, definitely give it a shot if you want to. I'm gonna keep working on my script, but the rest of the week I'm trying to write some more words that I can send them off for my agent to look at. So that's what I'm gonna do the rest of the week. I don't know if I'm gonna keep vlogging. We'll see. Who knows? If I don't, then I will see you later. And if I do, scratch this. Ignore it. What we had that day was our story. We didn't have the other bit, the future. We had no way of knowing what that would be like. Perhaps it would change our memory of all this, or perhaps it would draw from it. Nobody knew. But I'm sure I felt the story of that hall and how we reached it would never vanish. I just finished this book, Mayflies by Andrew O'Hagan, and bloody hell. I don't tend to cry in public, but I might, you know. What a book. What a book. I really hope that one day I can write as vividly as this. Like, I mean, the story follows Tully and Jimmy, who are two friends from Glasgow, and it follows like one chaotic weekend in their life in the 1980s, and then it meets them again towards the end of their lives and the end of their friendship, and yeah, I'm going to be thinking about this one for a very long time. Like, this definitely packed a punch. Like, wow. I obviously wasn't alive in the 1980s. I'm obviously going through my young adulthood in an entirely different time, entirely different context. But literally reading this, it's like I was right there, you know, in and out of various halls and pubs and clubs and bars in the 1980s, attending gigs, getting drunk and high with this group of people. Like, it's just, oh, it's so well written and so sad. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore because, whew. But yeah, I wish I could. I hope that one day I'll be able to write as beautifully and as vividly as that, because honestly it just felt like the characters are sitting right in front of me and like I was experiencing it with them. I haven't read the afterword. I got like a little glimpse of it and it said like it's based on a real experience he had with a friend, and I was like, I will come back and read that later, because if I actually read about the real person who inspired it, then yeah, I will be bawling in this park. But definitely recommend, if you're looking for something to read this summer, just have your tissues nearby. But yeah.